Okay, so just finished the last episodes of Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. I actually really like this one, and granted, the first series was pretty good, but this one worked a lot better. For one thing, it didn't have that tacked-on clusterfuck of an ending that the first one did. This one, since it had the full manga series to, take from, it worked a lot better. One thing that's a little different is the first few episodes seemed really, really rushed, and there was some stuff they skipped, which oddly enough were from the original one. So if you hadn't watched the original or didn't know anything about it, you might be a little confused. Mostly with what was his name? The the guy from the mining town whose name escapes me right now, and it's gonna bother me for a while. But they didn't show Ed and Al's little adventure into the mining town, but they did show some of the aftermath. Like the characters had acknowledged it, but they just didn't mention it. So obviously, if you weren't sure, if you didn't know about it beforehand, you're gonna be a little confused when they start talking about it. One thing I really, really, really like about this series is, well, for one thing, I watch part of it in Japanese, part of it in the English dubs. I just bounce back and forth so I could actually see how each of them compared. It was nice I got I think either all or the majority of the English voice actors back on for this one. And the Japanese one didn't get all of them back. They got a decent amount, and then they got some newer ones to replace them. Like if I remember right, Mustang was different. He was the big one that stood out because I just watched when I first started this. When it first came out, like a couple of years back, I had just come off watching Gundam Double O or Zero Zero, whatever they're calling it, and I'd watched that in Japanese. So the fact that they use the same Seiyu as Lock On for Mustang, I really, really liked. Either way, the voice acting was good on either side. Personally, I really like the Japanese better, but that's probably because that's what I'm used to regardless. The English ones always sounded a little weird. The music was really good. I can't think of a single ending or opening song I didn't like, which is a rarity, even since there's like 10 of them on this one. But especially like Yui, Sid, Nico Touches the Walls, all of them really, really good. And one of the things I like the most is the fact that unlike a lot of shows where they either try to compress the aftermath of what happens after the final battle or whatever into the last 5 minutes, or even just not at all, they just ignore it. This probably so they could leave room open for sequels, I guess. This one's dedicated its last two whole episodes to that. They split up the characters into both of those two episodes and were able to show what was going on afterwards and how this country was rebuilding. Now, if I remember right, there's a movie coming. There's a movie that was released just a little bit ago in Japan, like this last month or two, continuing on Brotherhood. So I'm really interested to see how they do that, especially since, and this is spoiler. So if you haven't seen it yet or are planning to, just skip the rest. Just consider the fact that I really like this, and that's the end of it. But Ed gave up his alchemy to get Al back, so I'm kind of curious what they're going to do with this. If it's going to be the two brothers on their travels, or if it's going to be even after that. But I don't know. I haven't bothered to look up much about it, mostly because I really want to see it with a clean, with no expectations to it, aside from what I've seen in the series already. So finished that one. Really, really, really good. I highly recommend it. Now I just need to figure what else I want. The next one I want to do. I was really thinking of. I was tempted on doing Supernatural, but honestly, I couldn't even get through one episode of that. The American voice acting is just god awful, and the whole thing just seems really. Even in the Japanese, the dialogue seems stilted and just unnatural. I'm probably just going to be skipping that. It's in the same category as the Iron Man anime. It just was no, I couldn't get through it. At least Iron Man I was able to last 3 episodes before I gave it up. This one I couldn't even finish one, but that might be because I really, really like the live action show. Really thinking about doing C, the Soul of Possibility or Soul of Money and Possibility, something like that. It has a really absurdly long name, but I think I'll just refer to it as C, the letter. as the next thing I watch. I'm already like halfway through. It's only 11 episodes long, so that would work as a nice, quick one. And dang, I'm actually starting to watch stuff again, which is kind of nice. And I can put what I thought about it up on here, which is even better. Gives me something to do, especially when I'm at work and there's nothing here. I haven't seen a single person in like 3 hours. That sounds about right. Okay, well, I'm going to get back to doing nothing, I guess. If you watch this, thank you very much for wasting your time on it. I greatly appreciate it, and I will talk with you guys later.